I will say that tramp stamps is probably one of the best examples of a possible industry plant that I have seen in a while. That's it. That's my intro. Hi, I'm Amanda, you're watching Swell Entertainment, and we are doing another TikTok told me about it, now I'm telling you about it. I may need to make a whole new playlist just for these types of videos. Since I filmed the bulk part of this video, the tramp stamps have come out to address the claims that they are an industry plant, and I will be discussing that at the end of this video. Industry plants, gosh, how do I define an industry plant? Is there a definition for it? I should give you that, hold on. According to Google, the common definition of an industry plant is an artist who has a major indie label backing their movement, but presents themselves as homegrown startup label to create a pseudo-organic following. My For You page for the last week has been all the tramp stamps and their song I'd Rather Die. We'll talk about that in a second. The Omegaverse, particularly the Omegaverse during Ramadan and how that would affect things. And also, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about how I had to read the words "is slick halal" with my own two eyes. And then also MCU Soulmate, like when your eyes touch the world becomes in color when it was previously in black and white, set to Heart Attack by Demi Lovato. That's all my For You page has been. So it's a lot to go through. I may need to log off for a little bit just to gather my thoughts and so I don't have a mental breakdown. But we are going to talk about the Tramp Stamps musical group and the drama surrounding their song I'd Rather Die, and also the arguments for why they are potentially industry plants. But first, let me thank the sponsor for this video, Honey. I've actually thanked Honey multiple times on this channel. I have tried to have them sponsor me for probably years because I have been using Honey to save money on video products to review. Even if you don't have a YouTube channel where you review products, we all shop online, especially during the pandemic. Let's face it, a lot of online shopping was done in 2020. It was the only thing that brought a lot of us joy. And nothing is more annoying than when you see the promo code option or the discount code option and you have no idea. I used to spend my time going through other websites trying to find discount codes. I would search discount codes on Twitter and I would spend 2 hours to maybe find 5% off. But with Honey's free extension, it scours the internet for codes to help make sure that you are getting the best deal at checkout. And there are plenty of times where I'm shopping or I'm in a hurry for something that I have to order because I need to get the video done, and I totally forget to click the Honey extension. Honey doesn't even make you think about it, okay? It just drops down right away once you get to checkout to let you know that you have possible coupons that could work there. Honey has helped its 17 million users find over 2 billion in savings. Honey is free, and if you go and click and download Honey down in the link below, you'll be supporting the channel as well as saving yourself some money. Go to joinhoney.com/swell and you can start your savings right away. Thank you again to Honey for sponsoring this video. So a couple of days ago, a TikTok account called @TrampStamps popped up on my For You page, and they were promoting their song I'd Rather Die, and that it was going to be dropping on April 14th. How do I describe their music? You know how Kids Bop, they take popular songs and then they kind of PG them down for kids. It's like you took existing Kids Bop songs and then tried to appeal to an edgy crowd. That's what the music feels like. It's not great. The pandering is almost aggressive, and I think that makes it funnier that it didn't work. Because whether they're industry plants or not, I truly think you can kind of argue it either way. It doesn't change the fact that these are seemingly all millennial women trying to pander to edgy Gen Z, specifically alt TikTok, and they are failing miserably. They are the Quibi of industry plants, if you will. Before I point out the industry plant argument, let me talk about this song still, I'd Rather Die. I'm not going to be playing any of the music from them because they already had the song taken off of TikTok, or at least their original song, because people were stitching it too much and calling them out. They didn't like that, so they had the song removed from TikTok. There are other edits of the song available on the app, but still. So I'm not going to be playing any of the music. I will be telling you the lyrics, i.e. spoken word poetry, which is going to make them sound worse, possibly. So I will be linking their songs down below if you want to go check them out for yourself. These are the lyrics from the bit of the song that they were promoting on TikTok. I can't remember the last time I slept with someone I actually liked and he went down on me. I can't recall a memory of someone driving me home and not asking for a blowjob. Ew. Yes, they say ew in the song. I'd rather die than hook up with another straight white guy. I'd rather die than fake it like I'm having a good time. I'd rather die than spend the night with another Ryan or Matthew or John. People were like, okay, this feels weird. And then people started like looking into the group because again, the song was like really professionally done. There are songs that have gone viral on TikTok. I have a whole other video that I put out last year on TikTok marketing and songs going viral and things like that, and how some people get like really butthurt when their song that they put money into doesn't go viral because they think it's like a fast track to success. And this seems to be like the corporate version of them trying to like work that algorithm with TikTok. The song was like catching some criticism because it's like, okay, why are we talking about only white guys? This seems to be fetishizing people of color at the very least. They've also turned off all the comments on all of their TikToks as far as I can see, but someone had commented, y'all brought race into this and for what?
We've been seeing a lot of these comments, and so we wanted to get on here and clear the air. We see you, we hear you. We don't want you to feel like we don't. One, we are not fetishizing people of color. That's not what we intended. That's not what the song is about or supposed to be about. Two, we realize that we are white girls, and we're not trying to remove ourselves from our whiteness. We realize that there's privilege that comes with that, and we don't take that lightly. We wrote the song because we realized we had a similar poor sexual experience with a straight white guy with the same name, and that's what the song is about. It's basically just a dramatic way to tell men to be better in bed.
Someone commented on their TikTok, this has I'm spicy straight, ugh, I wish I was a lesbian energy. I believe Purple, I'm sorry, I'm using their hair colors names. Like I said, they color coded these girls. So Purple, Marissa, I believe, says, hi, I'm gay. That was their responses. People went to their website, and this is where things kind of started to like cause some questions for TikTokers, okay? Because they have a very professionally done website. And again, they're painting themselves as like this newer band, this band that's at least debuting. They all have social media presences, but as far as the Tramp Stamp social media presence, it's only been about since last November. So it's only been a couple of months, and they have a few songs out. So when you go to their TikTok account, they have a flow page with Tramp Stamps, I'd Rather Die, 1-800-MISS-YOUR-GUTS, which is another song of theirs, Stream Sex With Me, another song of theirs, shop their merch. They have a whole merch site. I'm pulling that up now. And again, everything is very professionally done, which is suspicious. The original theory I saw on TikTok before the industry plant argument had some more justification to it was that at the very least, all these girls had like really rich parents or something, and that they were funding these girls like musical experiences and stuff like that, because everything is really highly produced, which for a new band, when you don't have a background in music or connections in the industry, this just isn't realistic unless you have like a bunch of friends who do a bunch of things like that. It's not impossible to have high quality stuff when you're starting out, but it's not the norm, and it looks suspicious. Again, they're a fairly new group, and they have professionally done merch. I've been doing YouTube for a while, and I'm only just barely having merch done. It's still through Teespring. It's definitely not professionally done. Side note, merch link in bio. Please help me pay my light bill. We're told that essentially it's these three girls, and we'll talk about their other connections in a second, but they have an Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, and Triller. So it's just not realistic to think that these girls manage all of these social medias by themselves. And we know for a fact that they don't. So on their Instagram for the Tramp Stamps, over November 16th, 17th, and 18th, they posted their basically meet the band photos. So much of the marketing is, again, trying to appeal to like the alt TikTok crowd. On March 29th, Tramp Stamps did a tell-all, we answer your questions. I have no idea where they got these questions from. I'm assuming Twitter or something. They sat down and they went through a bunch of questions. It's very awkward. The things of note, none of them would say their ages. Personally, I don't think their ages matter, but the fact that they are all hiding their ages, I think is a little weird. Also, side note, they picked these questions. If you didn't want to share your ages, just skip the question. I think it would be even better received if they were public about their ages, to be honest. Most likely late 20s, okay, at the very least. Paige has been married. Paige is married, okay, to a straight white guy. Just because she's married to a straight white guy does not mean they can't talk about their I'd Rather Die song, or they can't make that song, because obviously if it's one person's experience and they want to write about that, it's a song. It doesn't have to be literal, but you get my point. I'm hoping. Maybe not. So how they all seem to meet has been kind of disputed amongst their own thing, because one of them said, hey, we got drunk and wrote a song, and that's how we became a band. The other one, that's the more likely one, is that they all met in a writers group where they all did like a writers camp type of thing. They met through that, wrote songs for other people together, and wrote songs for other people individually, and then they decided to get put together, or they were put together, that type of thing. Paige is the one that we can track the most through this. If you go to her social media pages, her Instagram in particular, she's talked about very extensively who she has written for, where her songs have been featured in, and things like that. Of the group, Paige is also the only one who is not verified, but her Instagram says producer, songwriter, mix engineer, 1/3 of Tramp Stamps. But she has posted a lot about other songs that she has written on. Part of the Q&A video is very odd to watch because it has such the vibe that I am trying to avoid, and why I don't want to do collabs that much with other YouTubers that I don't fully know, because it just feels very awkward when you're watching it. It seems very jump cutty and very edited, and so it just seems like they don't fully like each other. However, there is evidence that they've all written together, or at the very least that Caro and Paige worked on a song together, and that they seem to have traveled together or something, because there are photos of them together prior to Tramp Stamps. According to them in this, they decided to make the band early 2020, like April of 2020.
Back in August of 2020, they registered for a trademark on their name so they could use it for things like merch. Keep in mind, they didn't post their first TikTok till November of 2020, a few months later. And so this is the address and the person who was responsible for applying for that trademark back in August. That address belongs to an entertainment business management company. A bit suspicious that they had an entertainment management company applying for trademarks for them like several months before they posted even their first TikTok.
Paige, again, definitely worked with other groups, has written with Caro. Caro had a music career as well. I'm gonna be honest. I like Caro's sound better than Marissa. I don't understand why Caro's not the lead singer, but okay, that's just me. Caro's the guitarist. Caro and Marissa both seem to have solo careers prior to Tramp Stamps, and Caro's and Marissa's both seem to be more softer, a little more poppy. Her music is pretty good. She's got a very nice voice. Marissa, I'm not saying she has a bad voice, she just sings in cursive. Rolling Stones just did an article about them. Queer punk band with ties to Dr. Luke sparks backlash on TikTok. Yeah, people found that Dr. Luke has some ties to Tramp Stamps, and you know, Dr. Luke with the allegations from Kesha and everything. Not good. Not good when half of your brand is like women empowerment. It's not good to be working with him. Oh, here's the about section. This is part of what got people really upset. And with its high energy collision of pop and skate punk, Tramp Stamp sounds fully reflects the raw catharsis that fuels their songwriting. All our songs start with us going on rants about stuff that pisses us off. Shit we wish were different. Stories that have happened to us involving fucked up guys, says Mino. Adds Baker, it's the kind of stuff women talk about all the time with their friends, but no one's ever put it into this kind of music before. No. It's just not true. People were also pointing out when they listened to the rest of I'd Rather Die, the second verse after the chorus was a little weird. I don't know how you think we're gonna fuck when you can't get it up. I'm sick of hearing it's the alcohol. And when you're finally in the mood, it lasts like 1 or 2 seconds and then you're done and want a spoon. I'm just saying it's not fair to leave me hanging like this. I'm just saying it's not fair to leave me hanging like this. Ooh. Listen, it sounds like he just doesn't want to have sex with you. That's what it sounds like. The straight white guy doesn't want to have sex with you. That's what it sounds like. I don't think there's a problem with him not wanting to have sex with you. I think it'd be bad to like think that he owes you to have sex. Does that make sense? Is that clicking? Is that... Their band Twitter is still public. All of them privated their Twitters, but all of the girls' Twitters are now private, partially because people found tweets from Marissa's Twitter that were like a little racist, just a little racist. That's never good, especially, like, I'm sorry, if you're appealing to Gen Z, okay? Already you have a problem when you're appealing to Gen Z, or that's your goal, because they are I will say this, a generation that is very hung up on authenticity. Not talking about being relatable, I'm talking about like it's very easy to tell when someone's being fake, when something is put on, because they have been consuming content from creators for so long now. Okay, they've grown up alongside creators. They see when things are put on. So already you're starting like bat zero, okay? Because you're appealing to like the hardest to please demographic that is so heavily online that why you wouldn't think to scrub any and all social media accounts. And then if you're not gonna do that, address it. Hey, I tweeted this here. I was this years old. This is what has happened since. This is the work I've done. You know, like, explain yourself. This is the one that got me the most because, again, in their video, they talked about having management.
How did you guys grow your audience?
Just were hot and got on the internet, sorry.
Yeah. But also we do have digital marketing partners that help us stay consistent. That's important to grow an audience.
Yeah.
Social media consistency.
Which, if you're an independent artist, you would not have. I did a cover of Beverly Hills, okay? Hang on. This is gonna get copyright claimed, so I may have to do an Amanda dub over this of me singing like this over it, and you're gonna hate me. But I need you to hear this. If it gets a copyright claim, I will edit it, okay? There we go.
The truth is, the government has it out for you. Aliens exist, and you're afraid of the dark because you should be. Donald Trump is a robot sent from Russia. They should have taught us how to do our taxes in high school. And everyone has a right to birth control.
Like, again, like Kids Bop, working backwards, the Quibi of industry plans. Like, it's like, we know better. Anyway, I'm expecting them to disband any minute now. So like I said, the tramp stamps put out a statement. The TLDR is essentially gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. Fuck you. A couple of things though I do want to talk about. The way that they brought in cancel culture into this is honestly laughable. I'm not even going to address it. I do like the flex that like when we started sending these songs around, there were plenty of labels that wanted to sign us. We decided not to. Apparently Make Tampons Free, which is the radical statement that they have put on pretty much most of their accounts, actually has to do with the name of their own label, which I feel like maybe should have been made a bigger deal in the TikToks. I disagree with the sexist comment here. No one was doubting that three women could build a musical group. The criticism came from how produced everything felt. Nothing felt genuine. They do go on to clarify their industry connections. Now, having industry connections does not automatically make them industry plants, but you get my drift. They do call out all of the publications that made write-ups on them. There seems to be some hostility about Marissa's TikTok where she said, hey, I'm gay, and how they are upset that she's being forced to clarify because people were assuming she was a lesbian. You did make a TikTok saying, hi, I'm gay. If you don't want to talk about your sexuality publicly, that is absolutely your choice. However, you did kind of bring it up in this regard. They go on to talk about Marissa's tweets, and then they talk about the ageism. Apparently their claim is that people were saying that since they are older, they aren't capable of making music or this type of music, and then they compare it to men making music. I don't think so. I think that the criticism that I saw regarding the ages is that they were like acting like teenagers, or at least that's the most common criticism that I saw when I was doing my research for this video, and that was weird because again, they are appealing to Gen Z and they are definitely older than Gen Z, which again, as I said earlier in this video, I don't think their ages matter, but you know, when you're hiding your ages, obviously there's going to be speculation about how old you actually are. Anyway, that's mostly the rest of the statement. I will link the tweet down below if you would like to also read it in your own time. I don't think they're bad individually. Paige does seem to have a lot of writing credit that I think is very impressive. Caro, great voice. Marissa has some song potential. I'm not gonna, again, her voice is just not my cup of tea, but I don't think she's bad. That being said, I think they all could exist individually as solo artists, but I don't know what the Tramp Stamps goal is here. I don't know what the plan is. Groups are having a moment on TikTok. There are a bunch of like girl groups and like boy bands and things like that popping up on TikTok with their own music. Everyone tells me like, oh, this one looks like an industry plant too. The word industry plant is gonna get thrown around everywhere on TikTok now because of this. I don't think every single group or everyone that does successfully on TikTok is an industry plant. That's just not the case. I give it within the month of them deleting their TikTok. And that's gonna be it. Do you like the Tramp Stamps? Do you think they're an industry plant? Let me know. Comment down below. Shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for supporting me on Patreon. If you'd also like to support me on Patreon, the link will be listed down below. If you'd like to follow me on my social media, that'll be all up here. And that's gonna be it. Have a lovely day. Goodbye. The truth is, the government has it out for you. Aliens exist, and you're afraid of the dark because you should be. Thank you, Elaine, Allie, Alan, Alex, Braden, Cameron, Christopher, Chris, Cody, Colton, Crash, PC, Destiny, Devin, Dirty One, Don, Elliot, S&M, Feckless, Halpus, Hollow, Jack Ray, Joe, John M, Jordan, Joseph, Kenny, Kevin, Kim, Kristen, Lex, Lisa, Louise, Monga, Matt, O, Matthew S, Meme Lord the Red, Michael, Jane, Nathaniel, Pat, Parlock, Rob, Robbie, Robert, Ross, Sam, Simon, Stephen, Tasha, Timothy, Tom, Tyrone,